As I have learnt over 30 years of this festival from many fine writers and speakers, if you want to say something significant to an intelligent audience, be sure to write it down and read it out, and beware going off piste, or even going on piste. There are two things I have learned over the years. I've forgotten one. But the other is always write a list. First thing I want to do is thank those without whom this festival would not be possible. But I am tempted not to name them for fear of missing anyone out. Oh, I'll take a chance. Andrea, Martin, Josie, Kat, Mike, Tony, Jacob, Doreen, Fergie, Casey, Andrea, Molly, Mary, Lucy, Jessica, Sarah, Nicola, Andrea, and others. You would too. And others too numerous to mention. You have all been both a joy and tricky to work with. No. Sorry, I mean, you have all been a joy and I have been tricky to work with. But I hope it's been worth it. If the response from most good people in Swindon and beyond is anything to go by, and authors and performers too, then it certainly has been worth it. I am grateful, very grateful, to have found an opportunity to prove that literature is not too long a word for Swindon, even if it's only taken 30 years of my and your one precious life to prove it. Now, you're laughing, and you can hear me talking in the past tense. I wonder why. Well, what I am about to say next might commonly be called a resignation speech, and it goes like this. As things stand, next year, a Swindon Festival of Literature, as we have known it, all the way from dawn chorus to a festival finale, will not be organised by me. It is, I think, time for me to hang up my organiser's hat. Time to be sage and to keep off the stage. Notwithstanding the fact that it's been a brilliant festival this year, for which I thank you all for your help and support. And even though organising and running a festival is not the hardest job in the world, nothing like, say, being a king, or harder still, being a mother, I have occasionally felt ever-widening cracks appearing in my ageing and formerly impenetrable armour. It's the same with other activities in my life, all of which I will not mention. But parkrun times are getting slower, and more topspin backhands down the line are going out than in. The eye, the hand, the muscle, and the mind are no longer quite up to what I expected them. They are telling me to slow down, space out, and take my foot off the pedal of life, or maybe redirect my attention to other challenges and joys. For example, I want to spend more time, and here the list making would come in handy. I would like to spend more time on my ever-growing grand family, tidying up my mountains of books. 6 months ago, a book that I reviewed in 1987 called The Heinemann European Book of Short Stories, it's about that fat, fell off the top shelf onto my head. I should be killed by a book falling on my head if I do not tidy up that pile of books. I want to work on a brand new Lower Shore Farm supported Artswords project to help and support brilliant a brilliant swathe of new Swindon writers. I want to see their work get the light of day, and maybe even knock some of my own jottings into publishable shape, which more than one writer and publisher has suggested I do. And also, well into my dotage now, I need to look after my health. There is, in short, plenty else for me to do other than search for funding and spend the dark winter months scouring the country for writers, speakers and performers to bring to you, much as I love them and much as I love you. I might still be tempted to organise occasional one-off author-performer events, say over a weekend or a week or two, but alas, no more Dawn Chorus to festival finale, 30-event week-long festivals from me. I'm sorry. I think, anyway, that's going to be the situation. Just as in running, doing park runs instead of marathons, and in tennis, playing 2-setters instead of 5 seems best. Yes, it seems best to stop while seemingly still near the top. Now suddenly, like Sarah Jane and Steve, I was not sure I was going to do this, but I think I will. To extend tonight's Irish theme a little further, here, by way of thank you, and a message that in life, the search always goes on, whatever stage of life we're at. Here is a little song with words by the Irish poet W.B. Yeats. I went out to a hazelwood because a fire was in my head, and I cut and I peeled a hazel wand, and I hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped a berry into a stream, and I caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire flame, but something rustled on the floor, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded in the brightening air. When I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone, and kiss her lips and hold her hand, and walk among long dappled grass, and pluck till time and times are done the silver apples of the moon and the golden apples of the sun. Till we meet again, keep well, and thank you, one and all. Now let's end, as we began, with the mournful sound of the watering can. Who needs books? The greatest poet, a poet who died the year I was born. I vowed whenever I had a captive audience, you should have gone home by now. She wrote this love poem. This is a love poem for all of us, to one another. And it's to do away with books. She said, her name was Anna. She said, knowledge to me is wearisome from books. I learn much more from words and looks. So give me yourself, as clear as earth and rain, and I shall drink, and I shall think, and I'll bring you flowers again. And that's it. Good night.